What's going on, everybody, and welcome to Madden 22, a brand new game, brand new franchise, using a new team. It's going to be way more of a challenge. We are going to be the Atlanta Falcons. As you can see, their offense 73, defense is a little bit better, 76. Team overall is 74. This team is bad. They have a ton of money tied up into Matt Ryan, who is not going to be the quarterback. So I don't know if we're going to trade him. I don't know if we're going to, we can't really release him, but we're going to take a look at the end of this, go over the team, do all that stuff. But as you can see, a ton of new stuff that we can do in franchise in this game. We're going to go through, break down everything that we can do, all the different screens, how we're going to be able to build this team. And then at the very end, we're going to take a look at your Atlanta Falcons and their week 1 game against the Philadelphia Eagles. So the first thing we're going to take a look at, as you can see, it's a weekly strategy for the preseason in week 1. We don't play preseason. We're just going to sim through it. We will still do trainings and all that stuff, but this is just kind of taking a look, seeing the different things that we're going to be able to do as we go forward in this season. It'll point out, as you can see there, Derrick Henry, top threat for the Titans. Defend outside run player stats. It shows his rushing attempts, rushing yards, yards per carry, rushing touchdowns, and his fumbles. It'll tell you a defensive game plan focus, defend the outside run. It shows you everything that you'll improve for your defense at that point. On the right-hand side, it'll show you the Titans' offense as a whole, how many total yards they average, their passing, rushing, turnovers. It'll show their play calling tendencies. And then this screen right here, it shows player health. Something new in this game is rolling fatigue. The players, I'm assuming if they play an entire game, going forward, they'll slowly start to get more and more tired as the season goes on. So that's where rest going into the playoffs is going to be huge. Game planning in that way. If you're running up the score, do you put in backups? So a little bit more strategy is going to be involved when it comes to that. Taking a look at the player health. As you can see, we haven't played a game yet. So you can set the practice intensity, half pads, full pads for higher XP and game plan focus boost, but higher also has a more of an injury chance and lower fatigue recovery. Half pads will be lower XP, game plan boost, but more fatigue recovery, less injury chance. So obviously you're not going to want to do full pads every practice of the season. You risk injury. Your players are going to get tired. They're not going to recover as quickly, which then could lead to injuries in the game. And just overall, your team isn't going to play as well. So half pads, full pads. Maybe you want to do full pads in the preseason and then do half pads in the regular season, or maybe every other week. So that's something we're going to have to try and figure out. And then on here, you get to split backups, starters. So there's a lot of different things you guys can do as far as practice and trying to improve your team before you play the games. So this is a pretty big addition to franchise. Now you can see offensively, there's a game plan for us too. Our top threat is actually our punter. That is pretty terrifying. So I'm assuming he's our punter. It would be offense. So defensive pass yards, they have the 4th ranked defense. They don't really sack the quarterback that much. Fumble recoveries, they're okay, kind of middle of the pack. Interceptions, top 10. So a blitz counter is the thing that we're going to focus on. Improve throw under pressure, pass blocking, short route running, catching on blitz counter plays. So that's, I guess, the Titans blitz a lot. So that's the one thing that we're going to want to focus here. And then the same thing, player health. It'll show you right there for your offense, how you want to set that up. It shows you where the Titans defense ranked. They don't really have that great of a defense. It shows you zone man, man blitz, zone blitz, and what percentage they do. You can look at a full report, 1st and long. They do a lot of zone blitzes. So that's something you can look out for. Try and take advantage. 2nd and long, it's a little bit more balanced, but they still zone blitz. 3rd and long, still zone blitzing. And 3rd and short, they're pretty even. They can call anything. So 3rd down, it's a little bit more strategy involved. And then the final screen in this one, team profile, it'll show you what the weekly game plan is. So this says rush for over 200 yards. Good luck with that, with this offense. Good luck. It'll show you who the focus players are. We can go ahead and change those if we wanted to. It'll show you what the total defense rank is. They ranked 30th last year. Offense was 19th. Look, that's a lot of red. That's a lot of red. It'll show you what our concepts and everything are. So this screen is once the practice is over, it'll show you all the players that participated. It'll show you what their game plan boosts are. So like +3, +3, +3, +3. It'll show you what their XP gain was, if there was any fatigue, bonus XP, focus XP, and if anybody got hurt, which hopefully nobody did. Yeah, it doesn't look like anybody got hurt. A lot of people got XP, so that'll definitely be a benefit going forward. Taking a look here, defensively, no fatigue, nobody got hurt. So overall, that was a pretty good practice heading into the game against the Titans. The next screen, which also has some new stuff added to this game as well, is going to be the staff management. So you have your head coach, your offensive coordinator, your defensive coordinator, and player personnel. You can see this top one, view talent tree. This is something new that they added to Madden 22. As you could, if you look at the top right, you can see staff points. We have 60 available for upgrade. Arthur Smith, offensive scheme, West Zone run. His defense, disguise 34. And then the offensive and defensive playbook is his own, the Atlanta playbook. Talent trees, player growth, and staff modifications. Offensive coordinator, West Coast zone run. So that matches what the defense does, or the offense does, the head coach. But then when you look at Jim Nichols, the defensive coordinator, he runs a 4-3 cover 3. That's not the same defense. So they're not totally on the same page there. So we're going to have to take a look, and we're maybe going to have to change what type of scheme we're going to run so that the defensive coordinator and the head coach can both match. And hopefully that leads to better defensive play for us. And the player personnel, trades and contracts, that's their kind of talent tree. Trench play, practice makes perfect for the defense. On the block, practice makes perfect for the offensive coordinator. And you can see there's some goals there. The game day goal for the head coach, allow less than 200 yards, 3+ passing touchdowns for the offensive coordinator, and no conversions on 4th down for the defense. So let's go to Arthur Smith. Player growth. And you can see here, so secret remedy, that's worth 20 points. Decrease multi-week injury recovery time. So they're going to heal a little bit faster. And you can see from the top down, and each one has different benefits to be able to go forward. And then staff modifications, eye for talent, player personnel talents cost 10% less. And then the next tier, player personnel talents cost 20% less. You have hands-on offense, hands-on defense. So this benefits all your other coordinators that you have. Player growth, obviously that one's going to be pretty big. Let's take a look. Offensive coordinator on the block. Gain the ability to equip X factors on the offensive lineup. So obviously that is going to be a big one. We don't really have to worry about it right now. We do have Calvin Ridley, who very well could be an X factor. So that's definitely something we're going to want to look into. Mean streak boost impact blocking for tight ends by 1. So all these are all these different benefits that we're going to be able to get. Mean streak here. Nope. Liability. Boost the injury rating for all offensive players by 4. That one's pretty big too. Race for impact. Boost catch in traffic for wide receivers by 1. And you can see the next tier. Boost it by 3. So there's all these different things that you're going to be able to put these points into. Defense. So the defense already has a bunch. He already has a bunch. So he's probably been in the league for a little bit. He maybe has been the defensive coordinator for this Falcons team for a while. And he already has some of these things. So that's good. That helps us keep some of our points. Player personnel, 5% trade discount on players older than 30. Wheeling and dealing, draft day every day. Hometown discount, 5% discount on players under 80 overall on re-sign. So some of these are going to be very, very big for us. I feel like this is going to be a big one. So let's go ahead and use that. And then as far as the head coach goes, decrease multi-week injury recovery time. That one's going to be pretty big too. So that's 20 points right there. So this is for free safeties and strong safeties. Offensive linemen by 10. Halfbacks and fullbacks. These are all pretty big. So definitely defensive line. And then we only got 10 points, so we're going to go ahead and save those. Looking at the news from around the league, you can see the top stories. There's a lot more now. So you can go through, you can see what different headlines there are. If there's anything that pertains to your team. But this will give you a little bit more insight into what's going on around the league. You still have the tweets and stuff over here that'll talk about all the big things that are happening, any signings. As you can see here, Cleveland, I guess, is looking to trade Kareem Hunt. So Miami, the Jets. There's a lot of teams that are involved in that. That's pretty similar to the last ones. They'll have those, and then probably next week it'll show if the trade actually did go through. The league, you got your schedule, stats and awards, X factors, league transaction, league histories, and then obviously your options. So let's go ahead. We're going to go forward. We're going to get to the end of preseason, and we're going to take a look at this team and what we're going to have going into the regular season. So when we go into the season, Matt Ryan was not going to be part of the plans going forward. Because he's 36 years old, he put together a really nice career. We have a lot of trade offers to get him. The downside is it's about a $60 million cap hit, which is going to affect us going forward. Now, we can be super conservative and do the draft and, kind of downplay free agency a little bit, what we did in the last franchise, and we'll be able to right the ship and get back there. These draft picks are going to be huge. So you can see it 2022 third round, a second round in 23. See if there's anything pretty high. It seems like second, third. So this one in the next draft, New Orleans definitely needs a quarterback. Do we want to trade him in the division? Why does Pittsburgh need him? It's kind of weird. Washington. We're actually getting 3 picks from Washington. Indianapolis. That one for Washington actually looks like the best one. So we're going to go ahead there. Matt Ryan traded to the Washington football team. Now let's take a look at your 2021 Atlanta Falcons. At starting quarterback, Matt O'Connor. Felipe Franks is going to be backing him up. Mike Davis is going to start the season at running back, but I do definitely want to take a look and see what Javian Hawkins can do for us. Cordell Patterson is also going to play a role. Keith Smith at fullback, Calvin Ridley, Russell Gage Jr., Tajay Sharp, Olamide Zaccheaus, Frank Darby, Bray Holmes are your wide receivers. At tight end, you have Kyle Pitts, Hayden Hurst, Jaden Graham. Really excited to see what Pitts can do. At left tackle, you have Jake Matthews. Matt Gono is your left tackles. Left guard, Jalen Mayfield, Sam Jones. Matt Hennessy, Drew Dahlman, Josh Andrews are your centers. Chris Lindstrom, right guard. Caleb McGrary, William Sweet, right tackles. At left end, you have Deidre Sanat, Jacob Tuioti Mariner, and Taquan Graham. Right end, Grady Jarrett, Marlon Davidson, Tyler Davison, Olive Sagapolu, and John Atkins are your defensive tackles. Left outside linebacker, Brandon Copeland, John Kaminsky. Middle linebacker, of course, you got Deion Jones, Oyesade Olokun, and Michael Walker. Dante Fowler Jr., and Barkevius Mingo are your right outside linebackers. AJ Terrell, Fabian Moreau, Isaiah Oliver, Kendall Sheffield, Darren Hall, Avery Williams are your cornerbacks. Daron Harmon, Eric Harris, Richie Grant are your free safeties. Starting safeties, TJ Green, and of course, us. Young Ho Koo is your kicker, and your punter, Sterling Hoffrichter. That is your 2021 Atlanta Falcons team. Make your own opinions before we play our first game. There's some talent. It's going to be a trying season, to say the least. Like I said, it's going to be on all Madden. It's going to be a challenge. It's going to get frustrating. We're going to build. This is a complete rebuild of one of the worst teams in the NFL in an extremely difficult division. The defending Super Bowl champions are here. The New Orleans Saints are here. A lot of up-and-coming teams. The NFC is getting better. It's going to be a lot of fun. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I hope you guys are looking forward to this franchise. Looking forward to seeing what we could do. Seeing what we could build here. As always, I appreciate all the support. All you guys that watch. Like, subscribe. I appreciate it. And until the next one, see.